Because once you get on that bus, you ain't got no mama no more. You got your brothers on the team, and you got your daddy. Now, you know who your daddy is, don't you? Gary, if you want to play on this football team, you answer me when I ask you, who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Gary? Who's your daddy?
You.
Uh-huh. And whose team is this? Is this your team? Or is this your daddy's team?
Yours.
Mm-hmm. Get on the bus.
Yo, buddy had this self. Yo, put him in his place. Hey, welcome back to the Dynasty Chat. I thought I might share that little clip, that little clip for you. We got an excellent, great, wonderful episode for you today, and I'm going to give you the rundown. We got Show Me the Money. Mo has been issued his final warning. An update for the Year 1 Startup League. We're going to recap the owners meeting from this weekend. We're going to go over the Chaos Raffle results. I am going to talk about a giveaway that we're doing for the Year 2 and the Year 4 League. We have a couple new rulings. A couple new polls, and some very robust debate, especially going on in the Year 2 League. I finally managed to knock over the beehive and get these boys actually woken up and thinking about the future of the league. And we had I think robust was the right word, a very robust debate about how we should conduct the league's business going forward. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. It was also decided that a Chaos Raffle should be held in the Year 4 League as well. We're going to do a raffle for that on Friday. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And we got an injury scare from a major Dynasty player this year. But it may not be as bad as fantasy owners were first led to believe. Deshaun Watson has officially been named QB1. And for our main subject today, top 10 rules for a successful fantasy season. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Dynasty Chat, the ultimate podcast for NFL Dynasty football, covering the latest news, player analysis, and trade strategies to help dominate Dynasty leagues. League mates, fellow Dynasty managers, and members of the fantasy football community will join in to debate, break down moves, and share their expertise. And let's be real, there's nothing better than staying one step ahead of the competition. This show is here to help you do exactly that. Follow us, and let's get to it. Show me the money.
Show me the money! Derek, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money! What you gonna do, Derek? Show me the money!
All right, as you know, if you've been following along, Mo Money, who is a member of both the Year 2 and the Year 4 leagues, Dynasty leagues, he is the only member who has not paid his dues in full for each one. I do have a deposit of $50 for each league, and he owes each league $100. I've given him a final warning to pay the remaining $100 before the Year 2 draft, which is Sunday, August 30th. That's this Sunday. As of recording, it is August 24th. This is a Monday afternoon I'm recording this. I've given him until this Friday to pay $100 to stay in the league. At 5:01 p.m., and I've already informed the FFC members, Burner and Matty Ice, that I intend to remove him from the leagues, from the Year 2 league, if he doesn't pay this Friday. Right? Let's see if he complies before then. He keeps promising that he's going to pay. He's been a little vague, but, you know, I've been holding on. But I cannot, in good conscience, let people draft in a league that they are not fully committed to. And we also can't afford to, and we also are not going to reschedule the entire draft for just one person. Okay? I've also given Mo the opportunity to let me know if he's having a financial hardship as well.
Together and feel alright. Feel Jamaica moving.
he hasn't said that he's having a financial hardship or anything. Like, there's no birth in the family or nobody died or anything like that. He just is taking his sweet time and testing your commissioner's patience. So I've given him a final deadline of this Friday. Let me reiterate that date. This Friday is going to be the 28th of August. Our draft is going to be on Sunday. So that gives me about 72 hours, 2 days and some change to find a replacement for him. I am going to find a replacement for him. I have people on deck to take over this team, which comes equipped with the number 1 or the number 2 pick inside the year 2 league. So yeah, that's going on. That's the deal with that. And he also, like I said, owes $100 for the year 4 league as well. Our draft is going to be Wednesday, September 2nd. So he might as well pay both. But yeah, he's definitely going to have to pay what he owes before he even dreams about drafting. Or we're going to go ahead and give away these teams to someone else. So that's your Show Me the Money update. Don't forget that every single member who is invested in these leagues, who plays in these leagues, you can either go to teamstake.com and you can always see the pot. We do use majority approval, so I can't go ahead and like distribute monies or take monies away or do anything with the monies without the approval of the league. And make sure that you don't play in any leagues that don't have majority approval unless they're like close family or something. This is for the year 2 keeper startup league. You guys are going to go to League Safe, not Team Stake. You guys are going to be on League Safe, and that's also going to be on majority approval as well. You can always see the money over there. So at the end of the season, all league members will have an opportunity to vote on who won, first place, second, third. That goes for all leagues. The only difference is the startup is on League Safe, and the OG leagues, the 2 Dynasty leagues, are on Team Stake. Okay, so make sure you know this information so that you can always keep an eye on the money and hold your commissioner responsible. You should do that no matter what leagues you're in and who's running them. Okay, since we just spoke about the year 1 keeper league, the year 1 keeper league is almost fully paid up. Okay, all members have paid their dues except for Smithy. But I know Smithy, and I've given him until Thursday to pay his $20 entry fee for that league. All right. So go ahead, Smithy, go ahead and lock that in. And yeah, let's move forward. While we're on the subject, let's talk about the draft. We did a poll in the year 1 keeper startup league, and it was decided that Friday, September 4th at 8 p.m. will be the date of your draft. So I'm going to go ahead and update the calendar, or I'm going to go ahead and update the timer in that league. Make sure you mark it on your calendar. This is a startup draft. It's very, very important that you nail your startup draft, okay? We're going to do, it's 12 teams, snake. All right? Friday, September 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to set the timer actually now, as soon as I'm done recording this video. That's what you guys voted for. That's what you got. Mark it on your calendar. We had our owners meeting this weekend. The owners meeting is not mandatory. There's some good information in there, but it's mostly just for fun. It's just like my little way of kicking off the league every season, like a tradition. And I enjoy doing it with my son and, poking some fun at people. But there is some useful information in there. So I went and made a short video that recaps the highlights of that video. You can go ahead and watch that on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and go and check that out, okay? It's a good way to, kind of get a vibe for what we're about. And it does concern all members of all the leagues that you're in. So, go ahead and watch it and get caught up on what's going on if you've been checked out for most of this off season, okay? We did the Chaos Raffle for the year 2 league. Josh won. Josh won that raffle, and he decided in all his wisdom to remove me from the OG Shotta's West division, and he has moved me to the Southside Snow Bunny Boys. So now that's the result of that Chaos Raffle. Josh moved me from the OG Shotta's West dynasty, which he won last year, but I went on to win the championship. So he moved me, and he moved me out, and he moved me to the Southside Snow Bunny Boys. So go ahead and check your division. It was shaken up by Josh this year, right? Go ahead and see who's in your division now, because this is very important. Whoever wins your division automatically goes to the playoffs. So calling all members members of the Year 2 and Year 4 TopShottaX Dynasty League. I'm giving away a free NFL jersey to whoever gets the most points at the end of the season. How do you get points? You participate in the raffle. $5 to play. Your name goes in the raffle machine. You get a matchup. If you win your matchup based on your fantasy points for that week, you get a point. End of the season, most points win. But you gotta pay to play. And even if you don't win that week, no big deal. You can still win the pot. Remember, most points gets a jersey from me. Let's go. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about some of these new rulings that have come down within the leagues. It's getting close to the start of the Dynasty season, and some trades have gone down, and people are actually starting to wake up. And we have some new rules that we need to talk about, and that you guys need to be aware of, because these were voted on, and I am going to be updating the league constitution to reflect the results of these polls. Okay, the first one is trading future picks. As you know, trading future picks is totally allowed in the Year 2 and the Year 4 leagues, but you must pay half your league's dues for the year in question that you're trading. So for example, if you are trading the year 2027 pick, you need to submit to your commissioner $75 because our buy-in is $150 in order to make that trade valid, right? We did this, of course, to avoid people selling out their future picks and then destroying the economy of the league and maybe leaving when things don't go their way. But this specific ruling addresses when and how long you have to pay that $75. We had a person in the league who believed that they should have a week, 12 hours, several days to pay for that, to make their payment for that. Most people in both leagues agreed that 3 hours is more than enough time to send the commissioner the $75 to lock in that trade. They got traded. We're going to call this rule the Ruggs rule, and we're going to call it that in honor of Henry Ruggs, who went and crashed his Corvette into a family and killed all of them at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, imagine if Henry Ruggs was involved in a trade between two league owners, and one of the league owners didn't pay the $75 for the next season, and now Henry Ruggs is going to prison, or at least most certainly he's not going to play in the NFL that year. I think that you can all imagine that it would be pretty messy and it would be pretty difficult for me to try to get that owner to honor his commitment to pay, right? So this ruling locks in a 3-hour window in which you need to pay. You can cash at me, you can text me, you can Zelle me, you call me. If you trade a future pick, you must pay $75 within 3 hours of making that trade. Otherwise, you risk having that trade overturned, right? Not because it was a bad trade, but because it's not fair for you to offload the risk onto the rest of your league mates, right? I don't want to deal with any such sticky situations and have to get in the middle of your trade because, so-and-so went to jail now and, the trade is devalued and then, you're pissed off because you have to pay for a pick that got basically flushed down the toilet. Listen, pay what you owe as promptly as possible. And as a courtesy, just keep it simple. Don't even like set that trade up unless you have the $75 on deck, right? Go ahead and pay what you owe and be prompt in your dealings and be mindful of the other members in your league, right? This is the sort of stuff that can destroy a league, stuff like this. So the league has ruled, after much debate, that we will transition to a linear draft. This is different from of course, the snake draft that we've been doing. Okay, the league has ruled that we will transition to a linear draft in 2027. The league has also ruled that this change will not take place this year. Right? We talked about it, we debated it, we argued it, and a super majority of league members do agree that a linear draft is better and it helps the weaker teams stay competitive for longer, which is what we want in all fairness. But we also agreed that since a lot of picks have already exchanged hands, that it's probably not the best idea to do this right now, especially since our draft is like less than a week away. Okay? So be prepared for a linear draft in 2027. This year, though, we are drafting a snake draft the way we always been. Okay? And there's no change. There's no change whatsoever to the draft method in 2026. But be prepared for that in 2027. Pretty much as soon as the year ends, I'm going to hit the button and switch us to linear. So if I were you, I would probably hold on to my future picks just to see, right? We all need some time to transition and figure out this new way to draft. Our final poll for this week and our rule change was that a chaos raffle identical to the year 2 chaos raffle will be conducted for the year 4 league. So the year 4 members voted that a chaos raffle shall be conducted in the year 4 league. Okay, so that means one person will randomly get selected every single season to gain the power to change a league member's division from one spot to another. Okay, you can use it on yourself, you can use it on another league mate. If you don't use the power, it's going to go on to the next person. Right, so that's going to happen every year. And for this year, 2026, I am going to record it and do it on YouTube Live this Friday. This Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For this year, I'm going to omit my name. I'm not going to participate in it, so it'll only be the other 11 members. I will completely take my name out of it, but expect my name to be in it next year. So I'm going to throw this one to you, and I'm going to sit this one out. Okay, so pay attention to that. When the raffle is concluded, I'm going to call you or text you and let you know. You're going to have 12 hours, I'll say 24 hours to make a decision, right? Then, yeah, let's get into some Dynasty news. Ashton Genty. Oh man, I've got this guy in 2 of my winning Dynasty leagues this year. He went down hard at training camp this weekend and scared the bejesus out of fantasy owners coast to coast. But it looks like he's gonna be okay. It's a little bit unclear exactly how much time he's gonna miss. Maybe I'll have an update on that by the time I edit this video together. But
Genty suffered a potentially significant right knee, but ended up being an ankle injury yesterday in practice when he was reportedly going for a ball. He went down, and then I think another player hit him, and he wasn't able to put any weight on his right knee. What the heck does this mean? Now, as I mentioned last night when we broke this down, there's 3 possibilities here. There's a lateral ankle sprain, there's a medial ankle sprain, and then there's a classic unfortunate high ankle sprain. I'm interpreting this as either a medial ankle sprain or a high ankle sprain. Hopefully we get some clarity, but as of right now, I'm expecting him to be out for probably the first couple weeks of the season, if not a little bit longer, depending on exactly what happened in that ankle.
Together, but it is not a season-ending injury. It looks more like it's going to be an ankle. It's going to be an ankle sprain. That's nothing to shake a stick at, and historically we know that we can expect some loss of mobility from players who sustain ankle injuries. So yes, he did escape a major injury, but this is definitely one to keep an eye on if you are an Ashton Genty owner. And shout out to the guys who sold the farm to get his backup. Man, you guys got to chill out a little bit. he shot Washington, but he shot up the rankings this weekend. Oh man, trust me, I was biting my nails. I was scared. He's on both of my dynasty teams that won last year, and I'm expecting a huge year from Ashton Genty in 2026. So that would have really sucked if he got hurt. But we'll keep an eye on that. Deshaun Watson has officially been named the QB1 in Cleveland. Let's see how long that lasts. I'm going to put up a poll right here. What's the over-under on Deshaun Watson? How many games is he going to start this year? Will Shedeur get a chance? Will they find somebody else?
Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Will his offensive line let him get crushed and get him out the game like they did last year? Okay, I'm just joking. I don't know if they actually did that. Tell me, how many games do you think Deshaun Watson's actually going to start? This guy is the most unrepentant slime ball I ever seen in the history of sports. He doesn't seem to understand why people in Cleveland can't stand his ass, and I don't look in the mirror, dude. Come on, bro. Come on, dude. You got to have some kind of self-awareness, but whatever. He's QB1. Let's see for how long. All right, let's get into our main subject.
10 rules for a successful fantasy season.
I wanted to make this video because we have quite a few newcomers to fantasy football this year, including my son and my wife and another league owner who invited his son to play in our startup keeper league. Okay, so instead of doing something else, I decided that I wanted to do a video, or just to make a quick video that sort of explained how this game works. Some tips that you can take with you to any league and any league that you play in the future. So these are TopShotta's top 10 rules for a successful fantasy season. This is a big one, and we just we have some experts, quote unquote experts, in our year 2 and our year 4 leagues that don't know this. All right. Rule number 1: know the rules before you pay. Before you send dues, know exactly what league you're joining. Scoring system, roster size, keeper versus dynasty, trade deadlines, taxi squad rules, injured reserve, waivers, fines, penalties, payouts, commissioner powers, playoff structure, everything. If the Constitution says you can be fined, you should know that before you pay, not after the commissioner sends you an invoice. Number 2, get to know your league mates. I've been preaching this all off season, but I'm going to put it right here. Fantasy football is partly football knowledge and partly people knowledge. Learn who loves rookies, who overvalues veterans, who panics after one bad week, and who refuses to trade. We have all those types of people in these leagues. Learn who loves their favorite NFL team and learn who just wants to win every single deal. Knowing your league mates can be just as valuable as knowing ADP, and that's a fact. Number 3, stay active. The fastest way to ruin your season is by disappearing. Check injuries, waivers, depth charts, trade offers, lineup news, and the league chat. You don't need to live on the app 24/7. That's not what I'm saying here. But if you only log in on Sunday morning, you're already way behind. Number 4, don't draft a name. Draft a situation. A famous player can still be a bad fantasy asset. Look at the role, target share, touches, competition for those touches, the offensive line, quarterback play, coaching, and red zone usage. Opportunity usually beats reputation. Number 5, depth wins seasons. Your starters may look great in August, but injuries, bye weeks, suspensions, and bad matchups are coming. They're coming for all of us. A team with one superstar at every position and nothing behind them is fragile. Build a bench that can actually survive the season. Number 6, know when to buy low and sell high. One bad week does not mean a player is washed up. One huge week does not mean a player is suddenly elite. If a league mate panics, be ready. If one of your fringe players explodes and somebody overpays, you need to be listening. Number 7, don't get emotionally attached. This is a big one. Don't start keeping someone just because you drafted them early. And don't refuse to trade a player just because he's your favorite. Don't reject a good deal because you don't like the other owner. Fantasy is about value and winning, not proving you were right in August. Number 8, this is one of my favorites right here, okay? Watch the waiver wire like a hawk. Championships are often won on the waivers. Backup running backs, emerging receivers, injury replacements, and players gaining snaps can turn into league-winning assets. Last year, I got Michael Wilson off the waiver for free because I thought because Marvin Harrison either got hurt or wasn't producing. You should know who the next man up is before everyone else does. Big one right here. Take some time to understand your team's timeline. In Dynasty especially, know whether you're contending, retooling, or rebuilding. A contender should value points right now. A rebuilding team should value youth, picks, and future value. The worst place is to be stuck in the middle with no direction. Number 10, play the league, not just the players. This is the one that ties everything together. Every league has its own economy, personalities, rivalries, habits, and unwritten tendencies. Use that to your advantage. Know who trades first too easily. Know who hoards running backs. Know who is always chasing a stack. Know who overreacts after injuries. The best fantasy managers aren't just good at player evaluation. They understand their specific league. And this isn't a rule, but this is more like my general philosophy that I want to share with the younger players and the newcomers. You don't win fantasy football by knowing football alone. You win by knowing the rules, knowing the people, knowing your roster, and staying active long enough to take advantage when everyone else slips. I can't tell you how many people abandon even paying attention to fantasy football after a losing streak, after one of their favorite players get hurt. That's an opportunity for you if you're paying attention. Lock in.